10 days ago, AMAL HABANI was not sure whether she'd ever see her home or her children again. The journalist was held for more than a month without charge or trial after she was arrested while filming protests against economic reforms.
I was arrested on the 16th of January in the protest organized by the Communist Party. We were at the place the protests were held with my colleague Omar. Security people came and beat us and directed us to go to a certain direction. They surrounded me and said, "Amal is filming us, Amal is filming us."
HABANI was one of 80 journalists, politicians and activists released last week by the Sudanese government. They were arrested during last month's protest against the government's decision to devalue the currency, which led to price rises and inflation. Lawyer HANAN HASSAN, like others who were arrested, says she had no part in the protests.
I was walking on the streets after the protests and they were beating a young man. So I stepped in to help him and told them to leave him. They turned to me and started beating me. They put me on a pickup truck and I was taken to detention.
The prisoners were released after international pressure on Sudan's government, which hasn't said how many arrests were made. Political and rights groups say more than 200 people were arrested during the protests over hiked prices in January. And with only 80 released, rights groups, including Human Rights Watch, say many are still being held in unknown locations with no access to lawyers or family visits, in conditions which may constitute enforced disappearances and put them at risk of abuse. The government has pledged to release all prisoners, but says protesters who are attempting an overthrow need to be careful.
The President's decision to release the prisoners is a sign of goodwill, and we released all the students, women and all the members of the Umma party. And we hope that contributes in developing the political environment in our country. But anyone who tries to mess with the administrative institutes of the nation and tarnish it, we will not let them get away with it.
AMAL HABANI says she's happy to be back with her family again, but worries about others who remain in detention and whether she'll be jailed again for doing her job. Hiba, Al Jazeera, Khartoum.